What's good? You're watching and listening to Daniel and Gian talk Game of Thrones Season 7. And last night was the finale for this year. It looks like, from what I'm reading, we're not going to see Game of Thrones until 2019. Actually, I heard that it might start in 2018 and finish the season in 2019.
I also read an article today that they hadn't even written Season 8.
I saw that too.
Which made no sense to me.
Yeah, it's going to suck. If we have to wait like almost 2 years, and how they have to have that at least storyboarded out already. Why wouldn't they?
When I read that article about they hadn't written it, it really didn't make any sense to me.
No, that's weird, right?
That doesn't make any sense. Like maybe they haven't sat down and actually finalized the scripts or something, but they have to have an outline.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah, they have to have their ideas ready to go.
Because they had to set them up in this. Because I still feel like this is 7A, and next year is going to be 7B.
Yeah, like
even
they did
though
with Boardwalk Empire and they did with Sopranos.
Even though they're putting a number on it. They're putting numbers on it this time. But because, I mean, you can just tell that the way this one ended, that it was meant to be concluded in the last season.
Yeah.
You know, not just because it's the last season. Even if this was right in the middle of the series, you know, if this was Season 4 and Season 5 were next year, same thing. You'd still be thinking the same thing. They're connected. You can't watch one with... Well, obviously, you can't watch one without the other, but you get what I'm saying.
Well, I guess the reason why it's taking so long is because they need to make sure that it's winter wherever they're filming at.
Which, yeah, because now that's the other thing, too, because they were struggling last time to find places with snow, which is why they filmed so late. And now that winter is across the whole realm, it looks like, because... At the very end,
King's Landing, it started snowing.
Yeah, so you know that means snow all the time, which I thought about, and you know that's pretty smart on their part. I don't know if they thought about it or it's kind of like, you know, hindsight's 2020. But if they film in a dark environment, meaning like everything's overcast, whatever, it makes CGI so much easier because it's easier to hide.
They just need to shoot everything in Ireland at all times.
Well, I'm just saying though, like
the sun came out for like 20 minutes while I was there. Like
that matters for CGI. Like the new Godzilla, well, it's not new anymore, but the newer Godzilla, most of those things were at night or like on an overcast day. Mm. Not just because it was in San Francisco. That was just an excuse to make it overcast because it's just easier. Oh, you can have a cloud obstruct the dragon for a few frames, and that's a few frames literally that you don't have to fucking animate it.
Absolutely.
So let's go into it.
Let's just into it, man. I really, really, really liked the fucking episode. I thought it ended the season perfectly. You know, we got through everything we needed to get through. It totally sets up next season and just had the epic ending. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense now, but I didn't even think about that. Like that's what they were gonna do. Like I've been, you know, this whole time I'm like, how are they gonna get past the runes, the magical spells in the wall that are preventing him from crossing the wall? And then we'll just destroy the fucking wall. That's how we'll get past the wall. Which is I just found that crazy. You know. At the same time, it's kind of like
I was a little underwhelmed.
You didn't like that?
No, I mean. Yes, in the context of the story, because now that means it's solidified. This is it. Like, this is it now.
I like how you're consistently a hater. You've been consistently a hater this whole season.
No, because here's the thing. This is obviously this is where fan service comes in. I'm not saying I wanted them to service me 100%. No, I want them to, whatever their decision is, I respect it, and it is what it is. That's what makes the show the show. You know, if they just did all the theories, then it'd be fucking stupid. And that's why some of the moments in this season, not this episode, were a little like, because it felt fan servicey. But anyway, I expected the wall to come down. So that's why this whole magical barrier thing, whatever, that's theories putting it in my mind. So my expectations were it was going to be a little bit bigger as opposed to like, oh, we just carved this little chunk out and we're just going to feed through there.
I don't know. That was a pretty big fucking chunk they collapsed.
Well, Tormund's dead now, so.
Well, we don't know that. We didn't see him die.
We didn't see fucking Stannis die either.
Yeah, we did.
You don't see him die. You see Brienne about to slice him and then like it cuts. You don't see the impact.
Okay, you don't see the impact, but you see everything coming.
You see the wall coming down.
But you know that Stannis isn't coming back from that. They still have. They can still survive that fucking.
But what would their purpose be?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea, but I don't think. I feel like
it's contract. To be honest with you.
I don't think so. I think they're still alive. I really think they're alive. I don't think they would get rid of. I don't think they would build the characters up the way they did this season to get rid of them so easily.
But the whole thing is, if you watch the wall collapse, there's no structures left.
Well, all the structures. They were running though. Like, we don't know. It's definitely that felt more like a cliffhanger than anything else. If they don't come back, then we know like these weren't important characters to the showrunners.
Which is sad because they were important to us.
Yeah.
Like, especially Tormund. Maybe not Barrett.
Right, because he wasn't around for so long.
He's important in the overall story of everything. Don't get me wrong, but like at least in terms of our world, he's not that important.
Right.
Because he hasn't been along that. He's only shown up in the, third season, and then now, So
maybe he's been in 4 episodes.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to steer this off. I liked it. I still liked it. It did make me think what you were thinking, though. It's like the dragons are this strong.
Yeah.
Like, what is that purple? Like, really? What is it?
Right.
That's a little bit of a leap, and I'm not talking shit.
Yeah, I was
it's
expecting
just
it to be ice coming out of the dragons. Like, he could freeze shit.
Well, clearly it's not.
No.
It's some plasma
it's like
shit.
some blue fire. Like, yeah.
Which is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Because that's a leap of faith, for sure.
That's definitely a little different, a little odd, I mean, I had people complaining, I saw on Facebook that the dragon's flying around and he's got holes in his wings. How is he able to fly around? But that didn't bother me so much as like how did he decompose so fucking fast? Because we see the whites and some of them are complete. They just got the blue eyes, and then some of them are just their skin is.
I don't know why the dragon decomposed at all.
Exactly.
He got frozen,
right?
And then they pull him out, and I don't know. Well, that's obviously we're getting nitpicky for.
Yeah, no, that definitely.
But what it made me think of was this, and this might be a little outlandish, whatever. But I thought, what if Cersei gets a dragon?
Right.
And you might think, well, how the hell is Cersei going to get a dragon? Well, in the books, Euron is supposed to have a horn that supposedly, if he blows in it, can like
summon a dragon.
Not summon a dragon, but possess a dragon.
Oh.
And Euron's so underdeveloped on the show that like maybe that might not happen. But he did drop a line in this episode explaining about how he's seen places and all this shit,
he's seen
right?
Things that.
So maybe it's something that could come out later,
right.
And that'd be interesting.
And I see when he left, the first thing I thought was, oh, they're getting rid of him. This is the way they're like.
He pussies out?
No, they pussies out. But this, for me, I was like, oh, okay, that's how they're getting rid of Euron. Like, after what the events that happened in the past couple episodes, we haven't seen Euron. They haven't brought him. Like, okay, that's how they're getting rid of him now. Okay, cool. That's how they easily
anticlimactic.
Yeah, they easily exited out of his storyline. It all makes sense. Whatever. We don't hear about him again. But then when they brought it back at the end of the episode with Jaime and Cersei, I was like, oh.
I kind of liked it.
That was good.
I liked it on both parts. Like, if he just left, I was actually kind of satisfied with that.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Because it seems like it's in his character.
And it also shows you how severe the situation is, how dire it is.
Exactly.
How smart he is for leaving. Because, like, going on an island isn't that stupid.
No,
if
not
they
at all.
can't swim.
Right.
But that's if the lakes don't, or the oceans don't freeze.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
Which hasn't happened.
Right. Which is what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go around the wall.
Which didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
So I don't know why they would add that to the intro, maybe to mislead people, or it's still an element that's coming.
It could be.
Like, we're next season because we don't know if there's a time jump for the next season.
Right.
There probably won't be. In my mind, I feel like it's going to take place right after because, like, everyone's going to Winterfell.
Right.
Literally everyone's going to Winterfell.
Except for the Lannisters.
And going into this episode, I didn't predict this on the previous one. Before we go back to this is the last thing I'll say that's off topic. But I thought that everyone up north was going to die at Winterfell. Like, that was how the season was going to end.
Oh, like that.
That they were going to break I knew the wall was going to come. I didn't know the wall was going to come down.
But they were going to
suspect
the White Walkers were going to finally get into
and then
the
destroy
Winterfell.
And like that's how the Littlefinger plot got resolved,
right?
Because they just all died,
and it evens the score with
right. That's what I was but that
I probably
would
have preferred that to what
ended up happening.
I put some notes here. So the whole, I mean, here's what I liked about that interaction with Cersei. I like that she's completely like
committed to being evil.
Well, not so much that committed to being evil, but she just doesn't give a fuck about Jaime anymore. I mean, she does a little bit. Obviously, that's why she. I don't even know
if she does.
Well, she would.
Oh, well, that's
she let him go.
That's the family thing. I think that's just family at this point.
But yeah, she's like not consulting him on anything anymore. Like that like solidified. We felt there was a breakup, a disconnect happening between them.
Well, he leaves, so that can't be any more solid than that. He goes to Winterfell by himself.
But we know why he leaves.
Right.
Like there's no questioning of it. And like now for Jaime finally completely accepts who Cersei is. That he's like,
which I'm glad happened.
And I feel like the only reason why he doesn't kill her himself is because she has a baby. But that also brings me back. Now I'm thinking. I remember I said I think last episode. I think it's a fake. I still think it's a fake.
How she went like, oh, yeah. She started touching her stomach.
I think she played fucking Tyrion. Well, they said the showrunner said at the episode she played Tyrion. But I think she played Tyrion. She played Jaime with this fucking baby. I don't think she's pregnant at all. I think she's using that to, because I've heard people have theories about what transpires after Tyrion says you're pregnant. People are assuming that means that because he assumes that Dany can't have a baby because she says she can't have it, she's barren, that Cersei's child is going to be the successor. Like he's going to parlay that. Because remember he talked to Dany like you need to name a successor like 2 episodes before.
I don't know why that would happen though.
Before. No, because that's
not when you have Jon Snow around. Not that Tyrion knows about that, but you have not Jon Snow.
Well,
you have the fact that Dany's still around, that she would even allow that. Like, that's what doesn't make sense. I don't know why I said Jon Snow, but like the fact that Dany's even around, you think she would even allow that to happen?
Well,
her child?
Because she doesn't have a child.
No, Cersei's child.
Right. Well, because remember, Tyrion is trying to make sure there's like as very little bloodshed as possible.
But who's going to stand behind that though?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying
because no one's standing behind Cersei now. She literally had to go buy people because the army's obliterated. Right. The North's against her. The South's against her.
And they have dragons.
I'm just saying, I didn't understand that either, but I feel like that was just plot. Like, they just needed to break it up. That scene was long as fuck. That was a weird scene. I thought it was weird. Not in a bad way. How they just started talking about business, and then they broke into personal, and then they reverted right back to business.
Right.
There was like that huge moment, which was good. It was important for their characters, but I don't know. It's just interesting. This episode was kind of like, in my opinion, I don't know how you felt, but I felt like this episode wrapped up all the storylines previous to this, other than the White Walker stuff. Like, I feel like everything's been resolved for the most part.
I think it wrapped up pretty much all of this season's storylines.
Well,
and the past
just
seasons.
Past.
Yeah.
It's just because now moving forward, what is it? Other than Theon going to save Yara, there's no side stories anymore.
And that story is like,
I don't understand that.
Yeah, like what?
I really don't understand.
I mean, maybe that means he's gonna become a hero because he's gonna chase down his uncle who's not going to the Iron Islands. He's going to go get the Gold Company or whatever the fuck is that they're called, the Gold Company.
That something like that. I don't know. The Golden Army's from Hellboy, so it's not that.
Right.
So I think it's the Golden Company. It's one of those.
Well, let's see. I wrote down some notes. Do you think Cersei's really pregnant?
No,
I don't think so. I think she's.
It's too. The way they shot it was too on the nose. Like I said, those close-ups, like they're making it real. They're making people think she's pregnant too much, as opposed to like if she just brought it up, I'd be less skeptical.
And the reason why I think she's not pregnant is because she let Jaime go. Because if she was pregnant, she would have got rid of Jaime.
But at the same time, what does her pregnant really matter? Being pregnant, I mean.
Well, she cares. That's how much she cares about the Lannister legacy.
Well, no, like to Tyrion.
Right now, she's like, as far as we know, all the Lannisters are dead because they died. The important ones died when Cersei fucking firebombed the whatever, the cathedral or whatever the fuck they.
Well, there's some generals there that were meeting with Jaime. I don't know if they're Lannisters, but
but actual Lannister bloodline, I think.
Oh, Kevin's dead. Kevin died last year when the temple blew up.
That's what I'm saying. When the temple blew up, like the important Lannisters are gone.
Yeah.
The Uncle Lannister's gone. Everybody's gone except for Jaime, Tyrion, and Cersei. So Cersei's mind, of course.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, man.
The only way they can maintain their line is to just fuck each other.
Yeah. Well,
like if I know I'm just saying, like
Jaime's gonna fuck Brienne. He's gonna cock block Tormund, and he's gonna put.
Well, Tormund's dead.
He's not fucking dead, Daniel.
He's
okay.
Dead. I'm sorry.
He's not dead.
I'm sorry to break it to you.
No, if fucking what's his face was able to row a boat for 10 fucking seasons, okay, Tormund could survive that shit.
I'm glad you brought that up because
he disappeared.
If he doesn't die, it just devalues everything. That's the one thing that I feel like is missing in this season.
Think so. If a guy's gonna die, he has to die on screen.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about Tormund specifically, but there's been a lot of like character saving moments that they probably wouldn't have survived in previous seasons. Like
they're trying to wrap shit up, man.
I know, but
it's too. You can't.
Tormund should have died in the lake.
You can't introduce fucking new character. Yeah, he should have died in the lake. I didn't like that. I mean, I talked about that last time.
I
didn't
know,
like
but
that
I'm
he
just
got
saying.
saved.
But like,
Yeah.
if he died at the lake,
It would have been more
that was a Game of
satisfying.
Thrones
Yeah,
moment.
exactly.
Because that's like, oh shit.
Exactly.
You know.
No, they've definitely changed that part of the formula.
Jamie
this
probably
season.
should have died at the dragon battle.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that his story-wise his arc was complete, but just based on Game of Thrones shit, you do stuff like that. Usually you get pay the consequences.
Because they got a jaw-dropping. They always have a jaw-dropping death. They didn't have one.
Bronn should have died at that
season,
point at least. You know, like those are the things. Like again, I'm glad they're still here. I love every single moment they're on screen. You know, Pod being, you know, that whole scene with Pod and Tyrion and Bran again was all nice because it was like that throwback to how the old history of Game of Thrones. But at the same time, you know, there's a little bit of a punch. They can't pull their punches too much, you know. Otherwise,
speaking of Bronn, where do you think he's at now? I feel like he's teetering. He's kind of seeing the writing on the wall.
He's gonna. Well, see, here's the thing, and this is what I was thinking.
He's a fucking sellsword.
Well, where is he? That's my question. After everything, where is he?
Do you think that Jamie? We don't see. We just see him at the meeting, and
I know. So that's my question. So where is he?
Do you think that Jamie's going to talk to him?
Well, that's why I'm asking. Where do you think he is?
I don't know. I mean, I think if he goes with Jamie, then you can see like his character's change from a sellsword, like he actually values.
I think he'll go with Jamie.
Yeah.
That's my personal thing. But I don't know where he is because I don't know what his contract currently is. Like, is he serving Cersei right now, or is he just helping Jamie? You know,
well,
like,
Jamie's the one that promised him everything.
I know, but I'm just saying though, like, or is that going to be a conflict where Jamie goes to ride with him and he's like, well, Cersei's offering to pay me 150,000 pounds of gold, and you're only offering whatever, the chance to die.
I think it's going to be a test for Bronn.
Well, I'm just. It could be that way.
I think we saw the test with Tyrion when they're talking to him. And you can see like the gears are working in his head. Like, what am I doing here? You know. And I think seeing the zombie and seeing the dragons changed a lot of people's fucking minds.
Yeah, that's why I would have believed that Euron just dipped out. Right. You know.
No, absolutely.
Because he cares about his life more than anyone else's life.
It makes perfect sense that now. Well, back to my original point, though, I think that's why Cersei doesn't kill Jamie, because she's not really pregnant and she can't get rid of the only other Lannister out there, because
she's not going to fuck Tyrion.
She's not going to. No, she's not going to fuck Tyrion, but she's not going to get. We don't even know if she's like. I feel like she's too old to get pregnant.
I don't know how old she is, to be honest with you.
But
I'll look that up.
I mean, I know in real life she's in her 40s. You know, they don't really say what her age is on the show.
Yeah, but isn't Jon Snow like 15?
Well, he's 15 when it starts.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Cersei.
Oh, also, last night answered how long it takes to get from Winterfell to King's Landing.
I must have missed that.
3 days.
So Cersei was 17 at the time of Robert's Rebellion, so she's 32 at the start of Game of Thrones. So she has to be like, maybe in her 40s.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know. But that's still childbirthing age. You're at the cusp. You're at that cusp.
You're at the very fucking end. You
might have babies that have, you know, birth defects.
Yeah, and they can't. Well, I mean, who cares about that? But I'm saying, I feel like that's why, more than anything, that's why she doesn't kill Jamie, because there's only 3 Lannisters left, and one of them she
doesn't want to like
have anything to
throw away the point. You know, another chance to smash.
Yeah, maybe, you know, something along those lines. I mean, I think that was her. That's still a little bit of fucking humanity she has left. Is her mercy on, and I don't even know if it's mercy. She just can't bring herself to do it. You know.
Did you think it was?
I was hoping that Jamie was gonna go out and like fucking kill her and then get killed by the mountain.
I think Sansa's gonna kill Cersei.
You think so? Sansa, not Arya.
Arya, sorry, I don't know why I said Sansa. My bad. Arya, yeah.
Let's talk about that. How'd you feel about that scene? How'd you feel about the double cross? Did you feel the double cross coming?
I don't like that we didn't see any meddling. Like, I don't know. It just felt like it worked because you can't really argue with like how they set it up in terms of like execution.
Well, this confirms to me that Bran is just a fucking plot device, because they used him to explain everything.
I don't think he's going to be one though next season.
I really don't. I hope he's important next season, but I feel like it was really like that was one of my issues with the episode last night. I was like, oh fuck.
Well, how else do you use him though?
No, it's not. My issue is not that. My issue is that we have Bran here, so that he's just going to tell them everything, and that's how they catch Baelish.
Well, right now when no one's under stress,
Right.
Once shit starts going down,
Like
I think
last
that's gonna
night,
change.
Bran just was just fucking.
He was the narrator.
He was just feeding people information left and right yesterday, or last night, the episode, and I that kind of bothered me because it was just like it's really like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's convenient. He's just really fucking convenient.
It was
right
on the
now,
nose, yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of like okay. I mean, I like I said, I still love the episode, but that for me, like
it wasn't the most creative way for Littlefinger to go out.
Yeah, it was a bit cheap. I think last week I said I was assuming that maybe Arya killed Sansa and then takes her face,
right?
Or figured out a way to take the face, and maybe that's how they catch Littlefinger. But
I feel like this was missing one more setup, one more piece. Like I feel like they showed their hand like right at the last second, but there was just not enough like of that what's Texas Hold'em bluffing, where they kind of just look at each other. Like if you watch Texas Hold'em, there's like they'll just sit there and watch each other for a little bit before they finally reveal their hand.
Yeah, and
I feel like they just cut out of the story.
They could have built the tension a little bit more. For
just
that scene.
One more like maybe another indicate like something to lead us to think that they were, because they definitely did a good job at leading us in the other direction.
And you know what? It was set up though. Like when Peter meets Bran after he comes back as a three-eyed raven, and Bran says that one line,
But he was chaos, so fucking despondent. Like, why would they?
Chaos is a ladder.
Well, why would they? They didn't. There was no scene of like Arya asking Bran questions or Sansa asking Bran questions or anything like that. It just
comes down to like, do you think we needed to see that? And I mean, I don't think we needed to see that. I just felt like it's just a real convenient that they nailed him because Bran basically fucking tells him everything.
I would have enjoyed it. Honestly, this is the honest truth. I would have honestly enjoyed had the scene been. It could have happened the same exact way, but just instead of summon Arya to the chamber to the whatever, it should have just been the opposite. More of like misleading Littlefinger.
Yeah.
To like, hey, I think you're right about Arya. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna have her meet us in the thing. We're gonna solve it. Something like that. Yeah. Where Sansa makes a decision where we see her bust a Littlefinger and lie right to his face.
Right.
And then, we follow Littlefinger into the room, and then he's in the center of the room, and, he sees Arya right next to Sansa. Right next to Bran. And it would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah.
As opposed to like setting up Arya, and then she's looking at Arya and she's like, oh, we're gonna blah blah blah, how do you find the crimes? And then she like turns her attention to Littlefinger, and it was like, really? If that motherfucker really was guilty of all those crimes, you're just gonna let him sit on the side of the wall amongst people? That's what I didn't like. Yeah. That's what I didn't believe. As in, now that I'm running it through, it's not that they didn't misdirect us enough or whatever. Now that I'm actually processing it, it's just how they set it up. Because
they could have done it. They could have done it a little more cliche, and it would have been better if they'd have done it.
You feel like that was cliche?
No, if they'd have like trapped him into coming into the room, like tricked him into coming in the room, and then there's just a court of people waiting for him, that would have been cliche. But I think it would have been better. It would have landed better.
I feel like this was cliche. I think that's the thing.
It was a little cheesy. I mean, it was
because it was just too. It was
a bit film schooly.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Because why? He's a killer. If you know without a shadow of a doubt, because Bran told you or however the hell she found out,
he's a fucking sociopath.
Then you wouldn't trust him to be like. I mean, maybe that's why all those guards are around there. But I feel like they wouldn't be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. But it didn't. The way it ended settled fine. Like I was okay with the way he died and all that shit. Yeah. But like at first, that initial like pan over to him and he's like, what? That didn't sit well with me.
I didn't like that he didn't try to run.
He did kind of.
Well, he fell to his knees and started crying.
He kind of ran around, but he ran it with his words. He ran with his words.
But I mean, he didn't try to escape. I wanted to see some struggle, but I guess that's fine. I'm just nitpicking now.
I don't know why Arya killed him though.
Why would they keep him alive?
That's not because just Ned was all about the public execution.
Well, this is just confirming that Arya she ain't that dude,
Well, I'm serious. Hold on, let me extrapolate upon that. What I mean is
this is the change. But remember, these people, they're not Ned.
I know, but
Jon Snow would have taken him out and chopped his head off in front of everyone outside.
But it's not because it's what does Ned say? The person who does the sentence needs one. He does the execution.
Right. But this was a team effort.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like that is a big thing, and they're talking about their dad a lot the whole episode. I mean, Ned gets brought up a million times.
But I think this is them. That's them showing that they're connected. They're on the same team. They have the same.
Or the writers just forgot because it's just more cool to do it this way.
Or they forgot. That's a possibility too. But I don't know. I don't really have a big deal because I feel like character-wise, the only Ned is Jon Snow. Jon Snow's the
which
only,
was made clear by his stupid. I don't really know if it's stupid, but everyone says it's stupid in the world.
His performance lately? I feel like the brooding. What's his real name?
Oh, Jon Snow.
Kit Harington. Yeah, I feel like
it's the same to me.
I feel like it's getting a little even more broody. You know, like if
that's his fucking character.
No, but he. I feel like he's posing more for the camera this season than he has in the past. You know?
I feel like that's the character. There's a lot of beauty shots.
It's in the character, but I also feel like there's a lot more like posing that he didn't do before. It just doesn't seem as natural this season.
Because he's royal now. He's a fucking king. You look at the way Robb Stark was shot. It was almost similar.
But his performance was different. He didn't act that way.
Well, I'm just saying the way you're talking about visuals, like how he's being shot.
No, I'm not talking about how he's shot. I'm talking about his actual physical performance, the way he's like kind of holding that look on his face.
Well, I don't know. Maybe fucking wearing a big ass 500-pound fur coat will limit your acting abilities.
I feel like performance wise, I don't know. For me, there's just a hint of cheese in Jon Snow's
because he's inhabited the perfect archetype.
It's either way. You're defending it. That's fine. I think it's cheese. I think it's a little much. It's a little much. Like he's bordering this season. He's bordering fucking Daenerys with her fucking stare.
Well, what is he supposed to do? That's my point. In the earlier seasons,
you can be a little more subtle about it. As an actor making choices, you don't have to.
I think it's the writing, man, and the circumstance.
I don't think it's the writing at all. I think it's a performance. I think
he was out doing shit in the earlier seasons. This one, he doesn't really do anything.
So you're blaming so you're saying that his.
It's not even a problem to me. So no, I'm not blaming anything.
His lack of action is exposing his acting chops.
Sure, you can say that, but I also think it's a simplified approach to his character. He has one goal now. That's it.
Okay, but it has nothing to do with how he's fucking brooding.
I think it does. I think it has.
I don't think so at all.
It does.
I don't think so at all. I think somebody told him, "Hey, this looks good. You should keep doing it," and he's fucking stuck by it. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this one thing. Like this.
I don't know.
This
I
is
feel like that's how
this is
he's
my
been.
signature look. Now I'm gonna fucking.
Jon
all
Snow's
the posters are the same way. I need to nail this.
Jon Snow's the only character who hasn't changed from the beginning.
It's his fucking blue steel.
I'm just saying he hasn't changed from the beginning. He's the same character since day one. He's just found out more shit about the world.
Okay, that's what you're telling me has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but okay.
It is because he was so sure. Maybe that is what I'm saying. That like you're able to be distracted by all the other shit that's going around, and he's been acting the same way since the beginning. And all of a sudden, now that he has less things to do, it's standing out for you more.
And I'll take that. I will accept that.
Because I feel like he's been unchanged from the beginning.
I'm not saying unchanged.
I mean, just if
you're saying his performance hasn't changed at all.
Right.
That's impossible.
He's gotten older.
He's grown as an actor. He should have grown as an actor from season 1 to now.
I think if you watch Jon Snow, he kind of acts the same, like stupid, dim-witted person, and now he just knows more and he's more confident.
I don't know if he's a dimwit per se.
He's not, but he definitely. And if you watch the earlier seasons, he's kind of like clueless.
Well, because he's young,
right?
He's a child,
but he still has the same sort of acting chops. Go ahead and restart that. He still has the same acting chops. Just hit the red button. There.
It's got the Wi-Fi thing going.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Anyway.
I mean, we'd have to go back and look. Like, for example, everybody knows that fucking Peter Baelish's accent has changed every single fucking season. It's like a little different every time.
He had more of a lisp this year than ever before, I feel like.
But people picked up on that right away. You know what I mean? And that's I picked up on this season more than anything. I feel like this Jon Snow.
I don't think it matters. I think we should get back to the story.
Well, it fucking matters to me. Okay, I went to film school.
Well, you're wrong.
Okay,
you're wrong.
All right, I'm not wrong because I went to film school, Daniel.
So did I. That's how I can tell you're wrong.
No, that's how I got better grades than you. Don't forget that. I'm just pulling to you. So Daniel on Facebook fucking got mad in an argument and pulled the fucking I went to film school card on Prodigy, who's going to be listening to this. So shout out,
I
Prodigy.
didn't get mad. Why are you going to bring that up?
You got mad.
It was a terrible argument.
You got mad. Regardless, no, it's absolutely a terrible argument. You can't equate. I say this shit all the time. You can't tell me that fucking One Direction is better than Metallica because they sold more fucking albums. You know what I mean? That doesn't.
I know.
That's like saying a 5-star restaurant is not as good as McDonald's because McDonald's makes.
That's
more
not
money.
me getting mad because I'm putting my qualifications out there.
No, you threw that out there. This is all subjective as fuck. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong.
You just said without a certain just because a movie makes more money, that doesn't make it mean it's the best.
No, that's
otherwise The Walking Dead would be
fine, but you don't have to like qualify yourself to make that statement.
Of course I do.
Do you?
Yes. That ends the argument. What do you say to that? You don't. That's it. When all you care about is winning the argument, that's it. That's all that matters.
It's not a fact-based major.
It is a
though.
fact.
It's not a fact.
It's a fact that I got a degree. It's a fact
that is a fact.
and it's a fact that I studied it.
That is a fact. That doesn't mean you're right or wrong.
It means that I studied
we
it,
didn't
though.
really study that. Either.
So The Walking Dead is the most popular show on network television right now. Like in terms of like people that's the best show on TV.
The best show?
Because it's the most popular.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I already agreed with you. I already said that.
I know. So but how would you
I'm saying that you didn't need to drop that I went to film school to fucking qualify that statement.
I mean, technically I just said I dropped $100,000 on an education.
Anyways, let's get back to the episode.
Okay.
So Jamie leaving. I don't know how much fan shit and people like Easter egg shit hunting that people went on. But Jamie leaving to go and join Daenerys and Jon Snow makes the cave drawing where there's 3 people and one of them was missing a hand. That like
I didn't even see this.
So if you look it up, there's somebody posted a meme that when they're in the cave, one of the cave drawings has 3 people, a woman, a man, and another man missing his right hand.
So maybe it's that.
So
I mean, there's the showrunners have said, and if we're gonna get into like fan shit, the showrunners have said that they talked to George. This is a while ago, and there's one bomb there's one more bomb left, like one more huge, game-changing reveal that's left in this show, and that would happen in season 8. That's like if I had my computer, I'd Google it, but the biggest theory going around right now
is that Bran is the Night King.
Exactly. And I've
seen a picture, and he's got that same ugly nose that Bran has. No, seriously.
No, I know.
I saw that, and I was like, and I didn't think about that until my cousin brought it up last week. He talked because I didn't even read that thing. I try not to read any of these fucking.
It makes it more interesting for me.
Yeah, but when I saw a picture, I was like, wait a second, he's got the same.
And they kind of wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
And the reason why that they're thinking is that the reason.
He stayed in the past too long and he gets stuck.
Well, that is an aspect, but what the theory I've read and the one I subscribe to, like I'm not saying I believe that's going to be true, but like out of all of them that I've read, the one that makes most sense to me is that he was trying to go to these different parts of the past, like you just said, but he's been trying to like stop the White Walkers, and the way he theorized it was to go back to the Children of the Forest to like plead with them, but they were already done. So the guy that gets killed
is him instead.
Is actually him, and he's kind of landlocked, which is why he doesn't talk, which is why all the other shit happens. But to me, what falls apart is
we don't really like.
Why would you go kill everybody?
Not just that, but has it established that he can affect the past?
Yeah, Hodor.
By going back.
Hodor.
Oh, that's right. That is true. I didn't think about that.
I'm gonna cut this out because I sound really dumb.
Well, you sound really fucking dumb.
I'm just saying, Hodor. That's the whole reason why he says his name's Hodor.
Well, yeah,
and that's what sets up the fact that he can go and manipulate the past. It is. So that's what I don't know.
Okay, yeah. That fucking opens up another fucking Pandora's box, though.
What if he can go?
Because if he can go past and like change the future, why the fuck doesn't he do more shit?
Which is why I don't understand if that's the ultimate bombshell that like You didn't set it up at all. It's not going to land.
Yeah.
It's not going to land. If that's the bomb, it's not going to land. That's
Well,
that's what I feel
I heard
like.
originally that the Night King was Bran the Builder. So the
Right.
guy that he's named after is actually the Night
Exactly. And then old Nan, the one who cared for him, would tell stories that actually Brandon's it's the same person.
King. Right.
They were that there's a story. I'm going to look it up. What's the next topic on your list while I look this up?
I want to talk about the Gold Company.
All right, let's go. Let's get into that.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I feel like you got one season left. You still got shit that needs to be resolved. Now you're going to introduce another fucking element. And I mean, is this also like, because I remember, a few weeks ago we were talking and you were like wondering how the Iron Bank was going to play into this again.
Right.
If that's like more fan service, like they have to get the Iron Bank involved in a major way again.
I don't think so. Because there's from the books, and this is because I read a lot of fan theories. I'm still looking for this quote. In the books, they're actually behind a person, the Aegon Targaryen. Like there's another Aegon in the books that's not Jon Snow because that's the revealed.
Yeah.
And supposedly, as the story goes, Varys, like they were about to kill the baby, and then Varys caught the baby and basically did a Moses, and then the Targaryen rose up and was able to like enlist the company. And in the books, they've landed in Westeros. Now,
so there's another Targaryen along with
in
Daenerys
the
in the books,
but not in the show.
No, in the
and
show,
I don't think
they turned Jon Snow into that Targaryen.
Sure, or that was just always his name. And then in the books, there's going to be this weird thing where the gold company is going to see, oh no, he's fake, and they're going to ally with the real Jon Snow,
right?
Or with Aegon. But that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is the gold company's notorious for wanting to go back to Westeros because they're all from Westeros, like history-wise.
So there are a bunch of Jorah Mormonts that got banished.
Yes, exactly. He actually served with them. I don't know if they mentioned that in the movies or in the TV show, but he did serve with them.
No, the Gold Company. If they did, it's something he said in the earlier seasons. But
in the books, though, it's a thing. But I bring that up to say, if they come over and they see, because they haven't been introduced at all, so like they're a fresh slate, they can do whatever they want. But I feel like I see them turning on Cersei. They are sellswords at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if shit starts going down, if there's enough, maybe the Gold Company's good enough where they're picking off Dothraki and shit. They're actually winning, right?
Yeah.
Because they have elephants and shit like that. Maybe they are winning, but then once the White Walkers get to King's Landing, they might hightail and run, or they might get decimated, or whatever. That might be another Deus Ex Machina moment. What do you think? Or no?
No. It's a little convenient again, but the elephant thing kind of bothers me because now like we're going back to it's just too, which is fine. I love Lord of the Rings, but I feel like it's too Lord of the Rings. You start bringing in these huge like mammoths.
Well, Krakens are supposed to exist in Game of Thrones too. There's a whole bunch of shit. Like that might be in the.
That's the Kraken is the
seal exactly. Well, to me,
the Iron Islands.
To me,
Greyjoy.
To me, it doesn't feel any more far-fetched than anything else.
I don't think it's far-fetched that for them to bring elephants. I'm just saying like.
You don't think it's going to be cool?
When you have a big battle and you have elephants and it's like people wearing armor and shit. I mean, we saw that battle in Lord of the Rings already.
And in 300.
Yeah, like it's just.
Elephants are cool though.
Elephants are cool. They use them in King Arthur.
There was okay. Well, here's my counter to that. Mammoths exist, so why don't you have a problem with that?
I'm not saying it has nothing to do with the animal existing in this universe. It has to do with we've already seen these big epic type fucking movies like this, and it's like I just feel like it's just copying too much.
You don't want it to be Bahubali.
Well, that makes sense. It takes place in India. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just saying you don't want action with elephants.
No.
Well, there's woolly mammoths already. That's what I'm saying.
When did we see the woolly mammoth? I don't remember.
The giants, their pets are woolly mammoths.
Oh, north of the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is me nitpicking it. I just don't like.
I could tell you they're going to be expensive to render.
How do you feel? How do you feel about this? I would have been much happier if we saw all the stuff in the Seven Kingdoms get resolved this season, and then next season focus completely on
I mean, I kind of think that's what's happening right now.
It is, but it isn't because
How is it not?
What's going to finish first? No, I think they're
I'm just asking.
They're going to eliminate the White Walkers before they resolve the kingdom issues.
I don't agree
You don't
with
think
that
so?
at all. No.
So you think there's going to be a war going on? Do you think Cersei's going to attack everyone from behind?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, that just...
Why wouldn't it happen?
I feel like that's if it happens, it's a tactical mistake because the second Cersei's army shows up and they see these fucking zombies coming at them, they're not gonna. It's gonna maybe that's on purpose, and they're gonna inadvertently unite everybody, even though it's gonna do what she didn't want to happen. It's gonna unite them against the one major cause that could happen. But I don't know. I feel like a storyline needed to get wrapped up this season, and it didn't. Because there's two major fucking storylines, overall story arcs: the fucking kingdom and the White Walkers.
Yeah, but if you don't,
and I feel like you don't have enough time, and it's too convoluted, and you could have wrapped one of them up at least close to conclusively this season.
I don't agree with that.
How could you have not wrapped up? You could have killed Cersei this season, and then fucking completely focused on the White Walkers and had a fucking epic fucking like overall like.
Here's why.
Killer fucking season.
Here's why.
Baelish is gone. Just think of everybody that's gone now.
I know and I said that earlier. I felt like majority of the storylines, if not all of them,
the old lady's gone.
They've all been wrapped up. I've said that. I said that earlier. But this is why I disagree with you. The tension, if you eliminate that other main story, the tension of the overall narrative is gone because you don't know any sort of goals for the Night King. You don't know anything. So anytime you cut to the Night King, it's only going to involve violence.
Or they could develop the fucking Night King story.
At the last minute?
Hey, they're fucking adding a new complete army at the last minute.
But they've talked about it,
you're talking about the tension. I think the tension...
They've talked about it,
I think the tension that they have is getting fucking stretched fucking super fucking thin now.
It's what's going to cause problems for everybody. It's the ultimate. It's because I disagree with you. I just disagree that I feel like they are gonna attack from behind or wait until, because why wouldn't Cersei want to take advantage of the situation?
Well, she is taking advantage of it by taking back the land.
I know, but why would you have all this set up? Okay, so all right, let's take a step back.
Because Cersei's too fucking smart.
Okay, let's say you want her.
She's seen this thing. She knows it exists now. She knows this threat exists. She's not.
Okay, so how would you have written the finale? Why would she? How would you have changed the finale then? Because you can't have all this buildup of a team up, and then the very last minute, Jaime just kills her, and then be like, okay, everything's cool.
No, I much would have preferred fucking Dany storming fucking King's Landing now. I much would have preferred the battle between Cersei and Dany going down now, Littlefinger dying, Cersei dying, and kind of wrapping that up.
Let's say that happens. Let's say that's what happened. My one question, and I'll shut up. If Cersei came in, if Dany came in, flew in, burned everybody, blah, 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 everything was epic, dramatic, all this shit happens. You're going to tell me the people are just going to be like, all right, cool.
Hey, you've been saying that there's supposed to be a bittersweet ending like fucking George R.R. Martin, and that would have been a fucking bittersweet ending. That she finally gets to King's Landing, she finally gets back her throne, and fucking the people aren't fucking cool with her. And it's like, kind of like...
Yeah, but I'm saying, okay, from a story perspective, going into season 8, you're still having the same problem. But now you don't have a figurehead representing the people.
Cersei doesn't represent the people.
I'm not saying she does, but I'm going with your theory of
because we still have the major threat. We've been looming with the fucking White Walkers this whole fucking time.
So if she kills Cersei,
we still have no fucking idea.
But you're not answering my question. If she goes with Cersei,
no, because you're asking a different question. You're moving the goalposts. I'm telling you, this whole thing. How many times have we seen the fucking White Walkers?
I'm going with your theory.
No, I'm telling you, this whole time we've seen the White Walkers, right?
Sure.
How many times have we seen them?
More than 10 times.
More than 10 times. No, like legitimate. Not like for 2 seconds on the screen.
That's seeing them.
How much of their story has been advanced? Last night was the first time their story got advanced.
Well, their story is really Jon Snow's story.
Oh my god.
It is. You can't have one without the other.
Oh my god.
You can't. They're connected.
Here we go.
This is Hitchcock. They're showing this whether it's because the writers don't know.
This is the shit you got to deal with.
Okay, well you're not taking the argument seriously. The showrunners clearly show us what they want to show. So we are clearly finding out pretty much when the characters find out about these things. That's it.
And I'm telling you,
other than Craster's baby, when they change it,
the White Walker storyline is underdeveloped as fuck this whole time.
The storyline is Jon Snow's storyline. I think
they're fucking lost with what to do with the fucking.
That might be the case. But truth be told, whatever the showrunners show us is what we know. So we can't extrapolate on that, and that's a Hitchcock thing.
That's the whole point of the fucking podcast.
That's what makes them interesting.
For us to extrapolate.
But that's what makes them interesting.
I'm losing interest in them.
But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
And I'm telling you, like, if you could have a whole season focus on that and what their purpose is and why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and
now
then
you're taking
up the
away.
stakes by keeping
You're not
Cersei.
upping the stakes. You're taking away from them.
No,
because you're fucking.
Okay, then go along with my.
It's
then
getting
answer my
too
question.
fucking convoluted.
Then
What's
answer
your
my question. Okay, so if Cersei died in a ball of fire, right? She's dead. So we're going into season 8 now. Okay, are we just gonna forget about King's Landing?
Yeah,
that's it.
Because
that's gonna satisfy you.
King's Landing's not important. King's Landing's not important to me now. I've seen the threat. I see who the real enemy is. I'm with Team Jon Snow on this shit. Cersei's just it just becomes Dorne. It's fucking annoying.
Becomes Dorne.
It doesn't become Dorne.
Well,
there's gonna be fucking repercussions from this war. You know,
and so when do you see them?
Maybe there is an uprising from the people. I'd be more interested in the uprising from the people not being happy with what happened there, while they're trying to figure out.
Okay, so what's the difference between an uprising of the people and Cersei being in control with golden swords?
Because you're adding another fucking element that wasn't there. The people have always been in King's Landing. We've seen the people. We've seen shit go down. We've seen them.
They can still revolt. Why not have both?
But now you're just throwing 3 because you only got 6 episodes, dude. You got 6 episodes left. They're gonna fucking wrap this shit up. Like everyone's already complaining about this season that everything's underdeveloped. Like everything's rushed. And you're gonna cut it down to 6 fucking episodes, and you're gonna keep adding fucking elements to these fucking 6 episodes.
What is being added?
You're fucking adding an army that we've never fucking seen.
But
the Iron Bank is all of a sudden. It doesn't matter. That dude. That's.
Those are the same people Stannis wanted to buy.
Don't tell me. Show me.
Stannis was going to buy those. That same group of people.
This is the first time I've ever heard the name Gold Company.
Stannis went to the Iron Bank to buy this army.
That's he was trying to borrow money
to buy the army.
I don't know if it was to get the Gold Company.
I know for a fact
because
it was.
It said in the books.
No, because it was in the. I've rewatched the show.
He says Gold Company.
I'll look it up. That's why he goes to the gold bank to buy an army.
You have no issue with there's this fucking army that nobody knows about. We haven't seen them.
No, I have no issue. To me, it increases the stakes.
I don't know. This feels like fucking Indiana Jones 4.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It sounds like you didn't like the episode, as that's what it sounds like.
No, I like the episode. I don't like the way it's fucking finishing up. I don't like the element of Cersei. I'm fucking tired of Cersei. I'm tired of. I feel like she needs to die. She should have died already.
She should have died a long time ago. But now that she's alive, might as well go with it.
I mean, no. I don't know. We're just throwing this new thing in. It's not developed at all. And you have 6 episodes to fucking develop it.
I don't know why you keep saying you have 6 episodes. What are you going to do to show, like, if you have 6 episodes...
How do you want the show to end? Let me ask you. How do you want it to end?
That doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
It does matter. How do you want it to end?
I don't know. I don't care. I want it to end in the best way it can end.
You bitched the most about this season so far.
But that's the point of watching a live show. I have no predictions. I want the show to just whatever it is.
Christ.
Hold on. You're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna tell you that you're my fucking wife. That when I say, "What do you want for dinner?" I don't know. Let's eat this. No, I don't want that. That's what I'm fucking saying, because that's what you're telling me right now. You're fucking complaining about shit, but you got no fucking solutions.
If you say, okay, so if I ask you how do you want it to end, and you told me how you want it to end, right? And you're like, you had this grand thing, and it happens just like that. You're gonna tell me you're gonna be satisfied?
Fuck yeah.
I don't think you would be.
I will be. Absolutely.
It's not satisfying to predict things.
What are you talking about? We fucking pretty much predict
if every week
this season right now.
If every week
I was satisfied with the season, and I've pretty much been spot on with all my predictions. The only things that
you didn't know the wall was going to come down.
That's one thing.
You didn't know the dragon was going to turn into a zombie.
That's fucking one thing. And
those are big things. But if you knew about that, you wouldn't be happy.
How would I be unhappy about it?
If you said, you know what, I think they're going to get this, and then it happens exactly the way. I think
it's pretty fucking cool that it happened.
I think it just, if they can, let me put it this way, and I mean this sincerely, not as an insult. If you or I can predict it, then those people are fucking stupid.
That is a fucking insult.
It's not.
That's absolutely an insult.
Me and you cannot write Game of Thrones.
Why can't we?
Because we're not involved. We haven't talked to George R. R. Martin.
They can't write Game of Thrones. They're fucking taking someone else's source material.
But I'm just saying.
If you gave me the fucking source material, I could have come up with some shit.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so. Absolutely.
No, because you have the help of Martin. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about previous season. I'm talking about this season.
I'm talking about coming up with ideas off the top of my fucking head.
Right. I'm just saying that there's a disadvantage that will always be.
Listen, I think the reason why they're wrapping the fucking show is because they ran out of source material, and that's why it's going the way it's going, and that's why everything is so on the fucking nose, because they ran out of source material. they need to get out of this fucking as clean as possible. Because so far, HBO has a poor track record of wrapping up their fucking epic shows.
Arguably,
I mean,
literally, The Sopranos was great until the last fucking 30 seconds. I would argue that that's not a problem wrapping up the show.
Boardwalk Empire's another one. I mean, that one didn't do as well, like
Boardwalk Empire.
wise,
Boardwalk Empire was forced into the ending.
Yeah, well, I feel like Game of Thrones is getting
forced because of ratings, though, not because of anything else.
Right. Well, I mean, this is still a forced. Game of Thrones is getting forced because they don't have enough material. That's what I think. I might be wrong.
I think that the showrunner said we're done, but here's why I would argue that, and I feel like, which is why I said what I said, and I didn't mean it to be an insult. If they were done, but HBO wasn't done, they could easily find more showrunners. But I feel like if they replaced the showrunners or did anything like that, it'd be hell. I really do.
Well, yeah, they've been on the show fucking.
Proof is in the pudding. The Walking Dead. Anytime there's any sort of showrunner problems, Walking Dead, the AMC has no problem dumping them. What happens? I haven't even fucking watched after season 6 because the show's a piece of shit.
See, I don't hate on Walking Dead the same way.
I definitely do.
I think it kind of
because you just like watching shit on repeat.
I mean, it's
the same fucking story.
That's what you
every
get.
season.
That's what you get on that fucking channel, though. For the most part, those channels, they're limited in what they can do, and
they didn't do that shit with Breaking Bad.
Well, how many seasons was Breaking Bad?
5.
And 5 seasons. How many seasons of Walking Dead at now?
I don't know. 8. They were talking about going up to 12, 14.
And they have endless material. That's the other part. Is like they have endless material they can draw from. That's why. So,
but you could extrapolate if truly. If they had
the difference between Walking Dead and Game of Thrones is there's no ending Walking Dead. There's no solution because that show is about it's like a fucking dramatic sitcom almost.
Like, I'm not disagreeing with that.
It's about the characters. It's not about the fucking.
I understand. It is a sitcom. It's a zombie fucking sitcom.
Yeah.
That with no humor. But the fact of the matter is, though, the 2 fucking showrunners could have easily have extrapolated upon these seasons and made them longer if they wanted to, regardless if they had the source material or not. They could have, because all of these episodes that we've seen were fucking seasons, pretty much. I feel like that's how much shit was going down.
Yeah,
and you're telling me they couldn't have made it a little more intricate?
I mean,
if they wanted to,
they could have. But I mean, I'm assuming there's I think source material is part of it. I think they're running out of shit to do. I think the budgets are affecting it as well. And I think now that we're in winter, that definitely affects it. They have to fucking find places. Global warming is real, so they got to fucking find places with snow. I don't know how much it would cost to fucking CGI fucking snow, a whole thing of snow, or it wouldn't look as good either, you know?
True. No,
in front of a fucking green screen. I mean, there's definitely different ways of looking at it, but at the end of the day, I don't even know how we got like where we're at now in this fucking discussion.
Well, it all came up to the Golden Company, which is why I found. So in season 4, that's when they got mentioned the first time. Davos suggests to Stannis that he hired the Golden Company to help him win the Iron Throne. Stannis refuses, believing sellswords to be unfit to join his army. Davos finds it hypocritical that Stannis would use blood magic to win the throne, but not pay men to fight. And then later on, I guess it gets mentioned again because it says, when Jorah Mormont addresses Daenerys not trust Daario because he is a sellsword, she points out that he himself fought for the Golden Company before pledging his sword to her brother Viserys. So maybe that's why Jorah's actually still alive. So he can actually talk to the Golden Company and maybe convince them.
It could be.
But
then again, like I said, that's just a mention of him, and you can't drop something fucking 5 seasons ago and then bring it up again and expect people to remember that shit.
They did that with Beric.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was great.
But they did it. It's not like it's uncommon.
Okay, them doing it and it being a good thing are two other things.
But if I think,
things.
But this is and I didn't say this on the last episode, but this is one of the things where you record and you think like, fuck, I should have said this or like whatever, right? The one thing I wish I would have said last week, I genuinely wish that people would take a step back and realize that the show's not done yet, and I've kind of come to that conclusion that like. When I rewatch this show next year or in 2 years or whenever it's finally done and I watch it from beginning to end because that's what I plan to do, I really want to, are these little gripes going to matter? Because if they still do matter, then they're a problem. Like this whole time jumping thing, or the the gold company coming, Cersei, still being alive, whatever. You might be 100% right. And if season 8 sucks and it's because of that, I'll own up to it. I'll say you're right. But if they don't, if it doesn't suck, if they pull off the story, the Golden Company does something badass, maybe those 10,000 extra troops are gonna help. Maybe there's gonna be cool battles with dragons and elephants and shit like that. That like you're like, fuck, man. I think you should acknowledge that too. Because that last week I just thought to myself, the show's not done yet. We got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they kind of know what they're doing, or at least have faith so far that they've strung us along for 7 seasons. And that's a big deal.
I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. And I think there's another aspect to that. Like you've said in the past that you didn't like the second James Bond until you watched it back to back.
That's true. 100%.
And I think
Quantum of Solace.
It's a different viewing experience when you binge watch through everything. When you see everything when you're waiting a week in between, it gives
things can set in.
Well, because it gives you time to think about shit.
Right.
That's the problem. When you binge one right after the other, you don't have time to fucking play.
Or over the course of a few weeks. I wouldn't binge the whole thing.
And and I'm not saying it's not gonna. It might finish. They have fucking 2 fucking years to get it out there now. They have even more fucking time.
Right.
They have time. That's one thing. It's not like it needs to be out in 6 months. It's gonna be, I'm guessing we're not gonna see it until
2019.
But I'm saying January.
Oh.
After the holidays. We're going to start Game of Thrones middle of January. We're not going to...
2019 a Star Wars year? I don't think it is.
I'm not sure.
No, because this year's a Star Wars year.
Are they only doing even years?
Then that means 2019 is, so that means, no, it's not, because 2018 wouldn't be. Yeah. I say that to say they could capitalize on, if Star Wars comes out, it'd be dumb if they put it out on a Sunday, in my opinion, even though it's a movie.
Yeah, but if it's in a January...
I don't know. Well,
I mean, it's a money thing. Like after Christmas, like spending goes down big fucking time.
Right.
So January, like if you want to travel, like the beginning of January is like one of the best times to do it because everyone's broke.
I think it'll come out in like March, April of 2019.
That would fucking suck.
I genuinely think it'll revert back to the original schedule, but in 2019.
Maybe. I mean, there's different reasons for all these schedules and shit.
But I'm just saying,
it's
though,
also, football season, is playoffs are in January, and that's something everybody
Super Bowl
considers.
Sunday, you can't.
Yeah, you can't have an episode on Super Bowl Sunday, but you could fucking have it the week after Super Bowl Sunday or the night of Super Bowl Sunday right after.
That'd be insane.
That'd be the fucking the most awesome Sunday ever.
It'd be interesting because you'd have to show it at 9, like everywhere. Because if you put it on at 6 here, because that's when we can watch it here, we can watch it at 6.
That's true. I wouldn't do it.
It'd be tough
because it'd come on at 1 in the morning
it'd be tough
in the East Coast.
And I don't know where the Super Bowl is going to be in 2019. But I'm just saying though, like I think I got to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one because as fast and as like upbeat as this season has been in regards to the pacing, none of us can sit here and say it was bad.
No, I don't think it's bad at all.
We're just complaining that we didn't get more. Like I feel like that's a good complaint.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's still we still are watching it. If it was complaint after complaint after complaint, then we would know.
It wasn't Walking Dead for you.
No,
that's
definitely
not. Like it's not like okay, I give up on this show.
The only reason why I want to finish the show for Walking Dead is because I have put in 6 seasons or 5 seasons worth of shit. And that's not a good feeling.
It also gives us material to talk about on the fucking podcast.
I mean, this is true.
So fucking catch up.
I'm just saying. What, you think you're caught up?
Yeah, absolutely caught up.
Oh, I guess I need to catch up.
Get yourself a significant other and find a show so that you have like.
But Walking Dead is boring, man.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you what happened this last season, and I watched the whole thing. So. I mean, there was definitely parts where it was interesting. No, Negan. Yeah, Negan was this season. This is a good season because you finally see Negan.
Yeah, but wasn't this the season in which they said they're going to cut back on violence and all this other stuff because Negan was so violent?
I mean, I feel like a lot of that shit is lip service.
I don't know. I haven't seen it
because it's not even that violent a show.
When they killed Glenn, spoilers. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
twice. Killed him twice.
If you haven't found out that Glenn is dead by now, like
that's the other thing. It's fucking people are assholes about Walking Dead more so than Game of Thrones. Like I feel like spoiler talk on Game of Thrones has gone down.
Specific people watch Walking Dead. I think everybody watches Game of Thrones.
Well, but I'm saying, like, you've seen some game. I'm sure you've been
Oh,
spoiled
yeah.
on Walking Dead.
Yeah, people love spoiling Walking Dead for whatever fucking reason.
They'll post a meme of like Glenn smash face or
Yeah.
some stupid shit. Like they spoil it like up. So do you have any other points?
No, I think I'm done with talking about this. We can fucking, unless you have some crazy.
I'm just trying to think of anything else that happened. So let's see. Let's just go through real quick. So Euron got his balls back. That's a story. We don't know what's going to go down with that. We talked about Theon, sorry. Euron left, and then now he's... Okay, Theon. That's twice I've confused them. Theon got his balls back. I thought it was dumb. Theon's a character I should have died a long time ago. I feel like Euron should have captured Theon, and then that could have been a different angle. But maybe that's what happens in the next season. I don't know. That whole Ironborn thing is kind of like...
And that's another storyline as well. Like, now we have to worry about...
That's the only extra
Theon.
story. I will... If you said omit that somehow, like if somehow they were all like... If Theon and Yara died, but Euron was still a part of the storyline, I'd be all for it. Because Euron still has a purpose to serve in some way.
Right.
And But Theon and Yara, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Theon is a fucking traitor, and I'll never gain the respect. Like when Jon Snow said, like, I'll forgive you, what, blah, blah, blah. No, not me.
Yeah.
What can you do? What could he do that could, like, if he saves Yara, I don't care about Yara, unfortunately.
He can't really do anything to redeem himself, at least in the eyes of Jon Snow.
If he would have killed Roose Bolton, it would have been like something different, because at least he would have, like, that was his time.
And I was halfway expecting that to happen, and it didn't.
That was the time to regain your balls at that moment.
I mean, he did save Sansa, but he didn't stop her from getting raped.
And you could, like I said, if you would have killed Roose and died, and then whatever, that would have been ultimate redemption for Theon. But anyway,
Ramsay.
No, for Theon, ultimate redemption for Theon.
Would have killed Ramsay, not Roose.
Oh, Roose. Roose is his dad. Bolton. I don't know. I'm just trying to go through everything. Tyrion, why do you think... Well, we didn't talk about one thing. The big thing, the whole reveal of the incest scene. And his name being Aegon Targaryen. And Sam kind of showing up willy-nilly. But I want to ask, why do you think Tyrion was watching outside the room?
I think that might be connected to the whole Cersei thing.
That, they are going to have a kid, maybe. That there will be a successor?
Yeah.
So you think Tyrion negotiated that the reason they'll do this? But
I think there's something to that. There's something that we didn't see how that scene finished. We didn't see how that conversation...
You wanted to see him finish?
I don't know. No. I'm saying the conversation between Cersei and Tyrion, we didn't see how that finished.
No, I know. So do you think...
So that's that's a cliffhanger for next season.
Do you think he bargained? Like,
he may have. We'll
put your son in?
Yeah. Or he'll figure out a way. I mean, I don't know. Tyrion, this season... Tyrion feels disconjointed to me.
You don't think it's a love thing, though, right?
That he loves Cersei? No.
No. Loves Dany. That's why he was standing out there disappointed. Like,
nah, not at all.
Like, if it was Jorah, that's what I would think.
Yeah, no, I don't think...
okay, good. Because I read some people saying that. I'm like,
that.
What? No.
Like, how many... No, I don't think so at all.
The hand of the queen. That's... You can't... You could, but that would be too much. That would be dumb.
Right. I mean, or maybe it has to do with...
He doesn't know that John's not John, though. He can't know that.
No, he doesn't know that. And also, he doesn't... We had one line where John says, well, you don't know if you're really barren. Some witch fucking might have lied to you about it. Like, which is kind of slipped in there. Like, so is she going to get pregnant tonight? I don't know. It's weird shit. Like, now... They're going to find out they're related. And that's
going to drive the tension.
Yeah, that's going to be some weird shit.
Because I think what's going to bother Dany more than the whole and this is why I said
she doesn't, like you said it before, like she won't have the actual claim to the throne. He's the rightful heir,
and she's gonna kill him. I keep fucking saying that, man. I really think Dany's gonna kill Jon Snow. Whether that's because Jon said no, you got to do it, like you have to kill me or some shit. But and
she's gonna have his incest baby inside of her.
Maybe, but I just because at the end of the day, once she finds out that Jon is the one, after all this bullshit that she just went through, whether, losing a dragon, losing Drogo, like all the stuff, Marine, all that crap, just so she can come all the way over here and Jon's going to take it at the last minute. Unless they get married and then they share it.
I feel like there's a unification going to happen. And
maybe.
I mean, and that's like, and it goes back to like, are they going to have to hide Jon Snow's real fucking identity from the people because they've already come out and been anti-incest. You know,
I'm just curious. I'm just curious how John's gonna know.
Incest is gonna play into this. I mean,
to be honest with you, I really enjoyed how they like revealed it with the narration of Bran and everything, because it didn't bother me.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like grossed out that they were hooking up. I just didn't, because I just felt like, you know what? And this isn't me champion incest, but like for them, for not knowing any better. That first of all, top Star Wars.
Next season, we're going to bring on someone that's an expert in genealogy and DNA stuff to see how deformed the baby could come out if an aunt and an uncle procreated together.
An aunt and a nephew.
Excuse me, aunt and a nephew. If an aunt and a nephew procreated.
They might be separated enough where it might not be a big deal.
Might.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, though, like, it didn't feel gross or repulsive. Like when Jaime and Cersei were hooking up, it was always kind of weird.
And I think they meant for it to feel that way too.
Which is kudos to them. But I'm just saying though, like it at least allowed them to just go and do it. That's
right.
The one thing about this season more than anything else. And maybe I'm complaining too much, but this season they've showed they've had more balls than any time before, because they've just said, oh, you know what? We're going to have this meeting with everybody at the start of the episode. Literally, everyone's going to be here, and we're not going to do any more waiting. This is what's going to be about.
Yeah.
And then you're going to think that it's going to happen, everything's going to go well, and then it doesn't, and then it ends up going well, quote unquote. You know, it's just, I don't know. So that's really the only thing we missed, I think, because we already know what's going on with Cersei and Jaime.
They're so small too. I mean, we touched upon Bran like going into the past and narrating.
And I still don't know what the fuck's gonna.
But I don't know. It's gonna be a shitty fucking year and a half, 2 years.
So who do you think? Like, we could end on this question if you want. Who do you think's gonna die by the end of the show? Who do you think's gonna be alive?
By the end of the show,
I'll name characters, alive or dead. Jaime,
alive.
Dany.
I'm gonna go with dead. I think she's gonna die.
Jon Snow.
Alive.
Brienne.
Alive.
Bronn.
Alive. Definitely alive.
Bran,
the three-eyed raven. I think he's gonna be alive.
Sansa.
Alive.
Arya.
Alive.
The Night's King.
Dead.
You think the Night's King's gonna die?
He's gonna die.
Let's see.
And then that means Bran if he's
Euron.
Die.
Theon and Yara together.
I think one of them's gonna die. I think Theon's gonna die. That's gonna be his redemption. He's gonna sacrifice his life to save Yara.
Who am I missing? Podrick, but not he's associated with. What's his name? Stannis' son. I mean, Robert's son, bastard son.
He's alive.
Davos.
Alive.
You got to think about what you're saying. There's a lot of people living.
I think Cersei's gonna die. I think the Mountain's gonna die. I think the Hound is gonna die.
I forgot about the Hound.
I think
Melisandre. She's going to come back.
Melisandre's going to die. I think we're going to see the prophecy come true. Melisandre and Varys are both going to die.
Because Melisandre is in... I forgot where she went. She's over there trying to recruit more of these red priests. Yeah, get more red priests.
I wonder if maybe she's connected to the Gold Company too, if that storyline's involved at all.
Maybe, because you don't know like how that's going to happen. But the red priests are going to come, and I feel like people are going to start to get resurrected on...
I don't want to make
the fireside.
I don't want to make any concrete. I'm just kind of throwing fucking.
No, I know, but guessing. It's interesting to sit because if you take a step back and you look at what you just said, that's a lot of people alive. It's right. Game of Thrones,
but a lot of them are like they're not necessarily the most important characters in this grand scheme of things.
Well, okay, let's assume Tormund lives this season, which I still think he doesn't.
He's gonna fucking him and Brienne are hooking up and having those giant fucking children, monsters. Imagine the monsters would create.
The monster babies.
I think. Right now, it's a fucking three-way thing. What's a four-way?
Tyrion. I forgot about Tyrion.
I think Tyrion might die. I think he might finally bite it. But just think, the only important people are Jon, Dany, and Cersei. Those are the three, like, that's who the war is.
Unfortunately, Tyrion, but he's been demoted.
Right, but one of them is definitely going to die, and my money's on Cersei. You know, that's obvious, though. That's an obvious one, so I might be wrong.
Or she doesn't die, and she gets what she wants, and that's the bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Where the White Walkers die, and so does everyone fucking else.
And she ends up on the throne.
With her baby.
That would be, I guarantee you, that would be considered the worst ending ever. People would be so fucking angry. They would be so angry.
If
everyone dies except for Cersei, fucking people would lose their fucking minds.
And then at the very end, when Cersei's alive, Arya comes and kills her.
I mean, that would be funny.
And that's it. That's how the show ends.
We find out that Cersei was Arya the whole time. She was wearing. She killed Cersei a long time ago.
And then the episode, the show ends with Sam closing the book.
Yeah.
On the Game of Thrones.
Right.
And he puts it in his shelf, and he's actually like some 20-year-old hipster.
And he's got little Sams running around behind him.
No, it's George R. R. Martin in 1995 or whenever.
So he's still chubby, and he's still wearing that fucking hat. But
that's it.
Yeah.
That's how it ends.
I don't know. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us. I mean, we're running.
No, that was an hour on this episode.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys know the drill. Listen to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Subscribe, hit that bell, hit that like button, and we'll see you next week with. Well, actually, we have a podcast dropping pretty soon with Kevin Suskovich. It's pretty entertaining and intense. The Potato God
and the camel. I forgot his name.
And the camel, Jeffrey or Freddie. I don't know what the fuck it was, but. It'll be coming out this week as well.
Stay tuned for it.
Stay tuned. And we'll see you guys soon.